This is a question about class activity 812D and specifically how to determine the absolute configuration at that chirality center. So the first thing we want to do is, of course, look at all the atoms that are bonded to that chirality center, which I've circled here, and we can see that hydrogen is going to be the lowest priority, or 4. But the other atoms that are attached are all carbons, so we have a three-way tie. So that means we need to look at what's attached to those carbons. So if I look at this carbon, I can see it's attached to carbon, carbon, and hydrogen. If I look at this carbon, I can see that it's also attached to carbon, carbon, hydrogen. And finally, if I look at this carbon, I can see that it's attached to carbon, hydrogen, and hydrogen. So now what I'm seeing is that these two groups are tied, but I can rank this group here as priority 3. So now I have to break the tie of the other two groups. So looking at this carbon, I can see that it's bonded to another carbon, because that double bond is going back to the carbon, and then hydrogen and hydrogen. And now what I want to do is look at this carbon, because I'm going to see that this carbon is bonded to hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Therefore, this carbon is higher priority. And that means this is going to be group 1 that's bonded to our chirality center here, and this is going to be group 2. Now, you may be asking, and this was, I think, the nature of the question, you may be asking, why did I go and prioritize the methyl group as opposed to prioritizing this group right here? And if I prioritize that group, we could see that it's bonded to CHH, which would have given me another tie with this group. So what you want to do is you want to go and look for what they call the first point of difference. And by going and prioritizing the methyl group, I was able to do that. Okay, so we've got our groups prioritized. This is one that I'd prefer to build a model for, just to make sure that I had everything going out, that hydrogen is pointing out at you, basically. So I did build a model, and here it is, and you can see that this is priority group 1, this is group 4, this is group 2 right here, and this is group 3. And as I said, notice that group 4 is kind of pointing out at you. So what I did then was, now I've turned the model around so that it is facing away from me. And I can see that when I say facing away from me, I mean the lowest priority group, which is the hydrogen. That's what I'm holding in my hand. That's facing away from me. And I can see that this is group 1, this is group 2, and this is group 3, and we can see that's going around in a clockwise direction, and therefore this is R.